Hey guys, this is Daniel Rhodes with Brother Sister Thrifter, and we are so excited to be here today on our launch of our first new video on YouTube. As always, you can watch it and subscribe below, which we hope you do, or you can like it as well, or you can do both. I hope you do both. This is my sister Rachel Jenkins here today. Hi. And what we're going to be doing is just gathering up some tips for you and offering those in a video format, and also showing you some awesome finds. We have some awesome finds that we have found recently. We'll be sharing those with you each and every time, giving you tips, giving you information and mistakes that we've made along the way, just to kind of give you an overview of who I am and what I do. I currently own Curated Collections, where I sell both on eBay and on my own website. You can go to www.curated-collections.com. That's my website. Or you can find me on eBay under curated_collections when you search by seller. I've been doing this for about 13 years. Started off strictly as a hobby. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but first I want to introduce my sister and let her tell you a little bit about what she does.
Unlike Daniel, have not been doing this very long at all. But from the time I was a little girl, my mom loved thrifting, so I've grown up around it, and I've thrifted most of my life, just not in a monetary sense. As a teenager, I was just like, oh, these thrifted clothes, I don't want to wear these, I want the latest and the greatest. But then I realized, there's something to this. And now that I have my own kids and my own family, I think that it just kind of hit me like I am able to stay at home and raise my kids, and my husband works, and I'm really grateful for that. But with the way the economy is, it's still really hard. And so I was wondering, well, how can I help him and help bring in money and help with bills? And so then it just hit me, looking at Daniel being successful and what he's doing with the thrifting, I thought, well, maybe I could just try it, it won't hurt to try. And I have that piece of advice for you too. If you're thinking about it, just try it. Try to sell something you have in your closet. But anyways, I've only been doing this for maybe 3 months. And surprisingly, and I'm on the Poshmark platform. Like he said, he's on eBay. So
where can they find you?
Well, I'll tell them. But surprisingly, I have been able to actually help pay for our insurance bill for our car in just the short amount of time that I've been doing this. So I was surprised at how easy it is as long as you do your research. But like Daniel mentioned, I can be found on Poshmark, and the username would be Sassy Stilettos. That's all one word. I made up that name really quickly. I was just researching Poshmark, and you had to make up a name to join, and so I made up that quickly. I'm in the process of changing it now, but Daniel tells me I shouldn't. It's a reflection of my personality. But and if you're not on Poshmark and you would just like a direct link to my closet on Poshmark, you can go to my Instagram, which is Rachel Rhodes Jenkins with no spaces in that. It's just Rachel Rhodes Jenkins, all one word. And in my bio on my Instagram is a link to my Poshmark, and there's also a code listed in my bio that if you use that code when you sign up on Poshmark, you'll get $5 to spend on your first purchase.
Nice. Okay, well, that's just a little bit about us. We'll go into more about us as we go through the videos in the future. But kind of the format's very casual. We just want to come to you and offer you up some free advice, some free tools on what we've learned over the years. And now what we want to do is we want to talk to you, kind of give you some tips on, or one tip per video. That's the only free tip you get. And kind of tell you what works for us. One of my favorite tips I love to bring out is a tip about the dressing rooms. When you're in a thrift store, of course, one of the first places most people look is behind the counter at the special priced items, which is where I usually go. But the second most important spot in the store is actually the dressing rooms. When you go into a thrift store, a lot of times people, as you know, they don't try on muumuus. They're going to try on the really nice stuff, the current stuff, the expensive stuff. And sometimes, if they're not aware that they can resell that, they're going to put it back and they're going to leave it on the dressing room. So I can't tell you how many times I've gone up, found something that was very, very nice, and picked it right up from the dressing room. Now,
and there's always tons in the dressing room. People leave.
Yes.
People leave the whole store in the dressing room practically.
Definitely. Now you do have to be careful. Make sure that no one's in the dressing room. That they're not coming back to those items. But obviously, if you see them walk away, or there's a bunch of items there with no one around,
Right.
it's a free for all. So that's my tip for the day. Make sure that you check that out. Rachel, what have you got?
Well, first, I would like to know why you didn't share that tip with me until just now. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Because you are my sister.
You got to keep something to yourself.
And
I'm
you're a
telling
competition.
Anyways, my tip would be, and I actually learned this from Daniel, probably learned almost everything that I know from Daniel, but the first time that I expressed to him that I wanted to look into reselling, he said, well, let's go out and see how you do. And so he kind of set me up. I got my buggy and I was just overwhelmed. I found a pair of Salvatore Ferragamo heels and I was just like floored, and I come running to him and he's like, no, honey, put those back. Those are from the 80s. Why do you think they're still sitting there? So a way that you can, if you think you found items, my tip would be when you get to the thrift store, you get a buggy and you go all throughout the store, wherever you're going to look. If you have a niche like just women's clothes or just men's or the whole store, just put everything in the buggy that you think that might be worth something. Don't research it right then. Just put it in the buggy, and then once you're done, go somewhere off to the side and find a seat. And you're going to need a phone that has a good connection, and you're going to need to download the eBay app. Mm-hmm. Now, I have the eBay app on my phone, but I'm not an eBay seller. And the reason that I have that is because eBay is such a great source to see if an item that you're interested in purchasing and reselling, if it's worth buying it, if it's even needed on the market, if people are looking at it. So eBay has a thing where you type in the item, and all of the items will be listed that people are currently selling. And see, I thought, well, that's enough. Clearly, this item is in demand. All these people are listing this item, and it's for $200. I'm going to make so much money. But Daniel told me that's actually not the best way to go about things, because you'll end up with a lot of buys that will never sell, or you'll end up not hardly making a profit. The best thing to do is to type in your item and then go to the filter section. You can filter it by what has been sold and what has been completed. Like the item was completed, it was bought, and it was shipped. And then you can also filter further down to color, size, condition, like new condition with tags, or pre-used, which is mostly what you're going to find at the thrift stores. And that will give you an idea of if your item is in demand, and when it sold, what it actually sold for. Because just because an item's listed for $200, if that hasn't sold and you see in the solds section that it sold for $20, you probably don't want to purchase that item, because you won't make much on it after fees.
Very true. Very true. It's a good, very good tip to take into account. Like Rachel said, whether you are selling on Poshmark or selling on Tradesy or any eBay or any of these others, make sure that you always use eBay as a great source of free information. There are others out there. I'll share those with you later. But now we want to talk to you about some of the finds that we've found lately. These are very recent finds, and of course, as I pull this item up, all the good finds are things that are in my size. How many of you know that? It's something that you can wear, so... But you cannot keep it. You have to sell it. Just keep that in mind.
The Lord is testing you.
Yes. So this is something that I found. I don't know if you can see the color very well, but very current Valentino men's sports coat. Love the pick stitching on here. Pick stitching, that's another great tip. If you see pick stitching, you know it's a quality sports coat. So we go to the label, because I know you guys love to see the labels. As you can see, this is a very current Valentino label, as my lovely Vanna White shows you. So that was a good find for me. And then another good find for the ladies. I try to include the ladies and the men.
And this find, he called me to come to the store after he found these. He had to make sure he got them first.
Yes, I have to take care of my sister. So Chanel, these are real. Now, when you're buying high-end designers like Chanel, you want to make sure that you research the item in the store before you buy it, because a lot of times these are fake. These are real though. These are authentic. They are online currently, other than on eBay where I posted them. So.
How did you know they were real?
Well, there's several different ways. If you look on the inside, this is a whole nother tutorial, but if you look on the inside of the...
so there's different markers.
Yeah, Chanel.
We can do a whole tutorial on that.
We've got a marker here for the year date code that it came out. Okay. And we also have a model number there. But we will get into authenticating a little bit later. We just wanted to share our finds with you, and we're so excited to be with you. We hope that you will continue to...
You're going to let me share my find?
Yes, I am. To,
I'm telling you.
Follow us and subscribe to us, and Rachel is going to share her awesome find.
He is trying to hog the finds here. I have this dress. It's a Vineyard Vines. I would consider it a holiday dress. I don't know if you can see the full magnificent-esque... Is that a word?
You're trying to cover me up.
Yes, look at my find. But it is got great detailing. It's literally in mint condition. I mean, although I can't list it as new, but it looks brand new. I mean, there's no flaws on it whatsoever. It's a size 12. And like I said, it's listed in my Poshmark closet, and because it's... this is something that people are looking for right now with the holiday season coming up. That's something you might also want to keep in mind while you're shopping. Buying tank tops and summery things right now probably wouldn't sell as well.
Good tip, yeah. All right, well, great. Thanks again for viewing us. Like I said, I hope you'll subscribe and follow us and like our video. As always, if you have any comments, please let us know what we can share with you or do differently. We're excited to be here and share more videos with you to come on Brother, Sister, Thrifter.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.